Welcome to Cooper MMA. I'm Mark Gilston. This is my friend Brandon. And today I wanted to talk about starting a fight from the knees and using judo. Very often, in BJJ in particular, people will start down rather than up. And it's typical for one person to either assume a guard position or to go right into a guard. But that's not necessary, and personally, if I can be on top rather than have somebody in my guard, I think that's a far preferable place to be. So when you're down facing each other, the classic judo throws still can work from this position. I would say from the Gokyo no waza, about 80% of the throws will work face to face. So I'm not going to go into extreme detail on all of the throws. Presumably you know some of them at least, but I will try and show you how they apply when you're face to face. And just for video purposes, I'm just going to look at the first and second sets, but the other sets work just as well. So if we start off with one of the sort of most standard judo throws, osotogari. Right? The point about osotogari is you want to make big contact and then you do a big sweep with your close leg. Well, obviously I can't straighten my leg to do a big sweep, but I can get that close contact, pull down or pull out, depending upon your style. That's shoulder to shoulder, right? And then I'm going to do that kazushi, that big kazushi, to bring him down. Now he's not going to just be there. So if he is struggling and trying to push me down at the same time, that's when that foot comes out to sweep. Similarly, ouchigari, I'm not bringing my leg to the outside. Maybe he's trying to come around me. So I'm going to bring my knee into the middle. I'm going to lock that elbow to his hip, heavy weight on the far shoulder. Important not to get caught in the guard. So notice how I've trapped his leg. Once again, he's trying to get around me inside. And this time, because of his angle, I was able to go right into side control. The ashi barai is a little different. Because you want your opponent coming forward, but I can use my knee to sweep in the same way that I would be using my foot. So if he's pushing into me, I'll do that on the other side so that the camera can see it. So my knee basically takes him just as he's putting his weight on that leg, and the hands are doing the same kind of wheel you would do if you were standing. Hisaguruma is a great technique for on your knees. There is a sacrifice version when you're standing. Basically, this is the same. I pull straight down on the collar. My foot blocks his knee. I'm going to fall to the side and pull in while lifting the elbow. Again, this technique works particularly well if he's trying to pull me to the side. Sasai Surikoyashi is a throw you normally do when your opponent is trying to close the distance to pull you into them. In this case, I want to come way to the side, lift, pull, and again, I'm going to do this now on the other side so you can see my knee. Normally you would block the ankle. My knee is blocking his leg as he pulls me in. It's weird that it works in the other direction too.
Yeah, I think this one is interesting because that's how I would initiate if I was going to go from here to pulling you into my guard. And so that makes sense because I would be lifting you up and you're just taking advantage of that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hip throws work fine from the knees. Generally, you can't get quite as far around as you would when you're standing, so they tend to be back throws to the corner rather than forward throws. So if I look at Ogoshi, I'm coming in here, grabbing, and turning. Personally, I really like Koshiguruma from the knees because that headlock is just super, super powerful. It is probably my main go-to. And of course, I go right into case of the Tommy from there. Ukigoshi works just as well. Better in some ways because I don't have to rotate as much. So if I can get that underhook, I can bump his stomach with my hip, and I end up in the Kuzuri case up, which is so popular in BJJ. Haraigoshi is obviously a little weird because again, we're dealing with sweeping. So with Haraigoshi, I'm doing a cross hip with my leg. Very powerful. If it fails, you end up with a knee shield, so it's got a nice backup. But generally, when you come in, if I do it in slow motion, coming up here, I can push off with my toe, or I can swing my leg out. I like the push off, comes around. And of course, there's Seoi Nagi, hand techniques. Hand techniques are very natural. All right, here I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna show Marote because my shoulder won't allow it, but Ippon Seoi, just coming in. Once again, I don't really have to turn, but I'm already in the position for a drop Seoi. So basically, I get to do a drop Seoi without dropping. What could be better? So in some sense, most of these throws end up being hand techniques, just because of the nature of being so low. But the classic hand techniques work beautifully. Sumiyo Toshi. Ukiyo Toshi. Taio Toshi is one of the few techniques which I don't see translating just because of the immense amount of requirement of flexing the knees and springing up from it. But if you have a way of converting Taio Toshi into a viable throw from the knees, I'd certainly be interested in looking at a video. All right. Anyway, that gives you an idea of how you can start adapting judo techniques from standing to the knees for BJJ. If you've enjoyed the video, please click like and subscribe to our channel, Seiryoku Zenyo. If you click on the bell, you can get the videos as soon as they are posted. Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you.